I hit record. We're back. I turned my heater off. That's usually like, so we are good to go. We are all set and ready to talk all things Steelers. So, first of all, thank you for being my last guest to complete my 32 fan series. I always dreamed in my mind that the Steelers would be last, and I'd just be able to just have a whole fan out moment where we just engage in all the great things
Say
that's
the
happening
best
with
for
our
last.
organization.
The Steelers.
Exactly. And so we did it, and so we're going to do this. I also, just to like remind the audience, is yes, we have preset questions, but this isn't about that at this time. Like, it's game time. We play tomorrow. By the time this will be released, it will be game day. So we're just here. This is our team. We're excited. I'm excited about the season. I think we have some great things happening this season, and I am just excited to be excited because I feel like the past couple of years I've been like, this is our quarterback. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. So, anyways, that's enough about me. So I want you to introduce yourself. You can tell us as much or as little as you want, and then we will get to talking about all the good things.
Okay. My name is Llewellyn Butler. You call me the Arsenal DB. My YouTube channel is the Arsenal DB. I host that, talk about sports, mostly football and basketball. So any form. So it'd be college football, maybe NFL, the Steelers, NBA, the NBA, all type of stuff. I do vlogs. I go to some of the games. I always go to the Phoenix Mercury games when they play the Wings every year because my
Nice.
mom is a Wings fan, and we kind of have a little like rivalry every year since like
Yeah.
2017. We've been going to the game. Always talking trash to each other and stuff.
I love
So
that.
yeah,
And then I saw you make an announcement on your channel. Do you want to make that announcement on this right now
what
about
announcement?
the show that you're going to do?
Oh, the Steelers Syndicate. Yes. I host Steelers Syndicate as well.
Okay.
Talking about this. They got a lot of channels. It's like they have a Lions one, they have a Dolphins one, they have Chargers. Is Lions, Dolphins, Chargers, Broncos. They have a lot of them. It's like I think like eight of them
Yeah.
like that. So I got opportunity to be the fifth host. They had a lot of different hosts for the Steelers channels. I'm the fifth host now on the Steelers Syndicate one, talking about different things and the reports on the Steelers, especially the Brandon Ayuk rumors that keep going on for like ever.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna see
You know
if he
what?
gets traded or not. I don't know.
We'll talk about that. So tell us about your fandom. How long have you been a fan? What started you being a Steelers fan? And I love hearing these stories about how people become fans of their team.
I've been a fan probably since probably like 2000 like seven ish. I'm 23, so I've been a fan since I was like a kid, like I was like 6 or 7 years old. And
Okay.
Palomalu was the person that got me in because you're a kid, you're watching Spider-Man, you're seeing all these different things, you're watching Naruto and all type of stuff. And Palomalu embodies that on the field. He's flying all over the place, getting interceptions with one hand, sliding
Yeah.
and doing all crazy comic book stuff. So you're like, oh, you're like a real superhero on the field. So he kind
So
of got me hooked into watching the Steelers.
I love that. I always tell people in my past life I played football, and I always said I played linebacker. I don't know why. I just always said that. And then as I started watching football, I was like, no, I was more of a safety for sure. And my friends are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I played safety in my past. I always say I was either a lawyer and I played safety, but I was definitely a man. That's what I always tell people. Like, so I got you. I feel that connection too. So it's always funny how players bring us in to like
Yep.
our teams. And so would you consider yourself a player's supporter, or do you consider yourself a program supporter? Like, whoever plays for the Steelers, would you cheer for the Steelers, or is there somebody that if they left, you would follow them wherever they go?
I'm more of a program guy because I sat
Yeah.
through a lot of stuff, Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, Trubisky. So you got to be a program person if you cheering for that.
Oh my God. And we won games. Oh my gosh. So I just cannot. So let's talk about that. How do you think that we did in free agency? What are some of your, you better say the right answer here. What is your favorite acquisition that we acquired through free agency? So how do you feel like we did overall though? Like, obviously we know the big move,
Mhm.
and that's fine. But I think there's a move that I don't feel like we talk about often because of the other big moves. So I'm curious to know like what you think of how we did in free agency.
I say the most important one, of course, is the quarterback, getting Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. But my favorite is Patrick Queen. Like getting the guy
Yes.
who's an All Pro Bowler at only 24, about to turn 25 in a couple weeks. I mean, at a young age to get him like signed with your team for the next few years it's gonna be big time because the middle linebacker spot was a spot that was in the question marks for our team. We had injuries last year. With Cole Holcomb went down, Quinn Alexander went down. So now getting a guy like that and drafting Peyton Wilson, so you kind of getting a little more versatility in the middle spot a little bit.
Yes, a man after my own heart. That's what I keep saying. I'm like, listen, I get it. I'm not taking away from the quarterbacks at all because I would be an
Hmm.
idiot. But the way that every week I never knew who was going to play linebacker,
Yeah.
like there were sometimes I was like, all right, like
It was
we'll
random players. It
see.
was like Mark
Yeah.
Robinson and it was like
I didn't
undrafted
even
players that
know
just
them.
signed the same week. It was just random people playing.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know who's gonna be in there, but somebody better make a play, whatever that
I
looks like.
think
I don't
Miles
really
Jack was
care.
retired. And they got him out of retirement and brought him in.
And Brian, yeah, please save us. Please save us. That's so funny. That's true. So okay, I'm with you on that. The other thing is too is how do you feel like obviously I don't know how you feel about Matt Canada, but I don't know a Steelers fan who loved Matt Canada. But once he left, and then how did you feel about the hiring of Arthur Smith?
I think Arthur Smith is going to do a good job. Now, as a head coach, he kind of struggled, of course,
Terrible.
because you have a lot of like different duties as a head coach. You can't just be a play caller. You got to manage the entire team. But as
Yeah.
an offensive coordinator, he did a good job. Derrick Henry had his best 2 years with him, and the Titans also got to the AFC Championship game with him before, and also they was on a first seed before too as well. So he did a good job making Ryan Tannehill look good. All the different players
Yeah.
look good. So I think he'd be good. But Matt Canada just his offense just never worked. Because like even in college, he was like ranked like 56th and 60th. So I don't know. I'm surprised he got the job. I always thought that maybe like that they had a rumor that maybe he was friends with somebody, or
He
with
knew
Coach Tomlin
somebody
or
that knew
somebody, and they
somebody.
hired him on. Maybe I don't know.
I publicly, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I publicly have never really gone against Mike Tomlin for a lot of reasons. Like one of them, just morally being a black woman, I don't want to
Hmm.
be the person that's like publicly attacking this man. But there's two things that I just was like, Tomlin, you got to let go of Matt Canada. Like you have to let go of him.
Yeah,
It's over. It's done. Let him go. Two, this quarterback room is atrocious. Like, cool, Mason Rudolph did his thing at the end of the season. I got it, whatever. But bro, like we have to do something about this. And so the fact that he did that and I never had to publicly say anything, cool. And that's the thing. I'm like, anyway, so we're past that, but it's just like it's crazy that that was even a thing for
yeah.
weeks. I've never seen a fan base more collectively excited when somebody got fired
They was
than
chanting
that
like
guy.
"Fire Canada." I went to the Texans game when the Steelers
I
played.
heard
I had
that.
front row seats. We got blown out though, but I went to the game and they was chanting "Fire Canada." There was more Steelers fans there than Texans fans. They was chanting that throughout the game. I was like, man, that's crazy. I
I
don't want the
heard
guy to get
that.
fired, of course, but his family. But he's not doing his job right, so you got to go
So
eventually.
I have a rule. I always say, like in college, I will never cheer for a student athlete to get their job taken because
Yeah.
they're, young adults. It's different. NFL game fucking on. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. If you can't do your job, you need to be on the bench
Yep.
or be replaced. Like, because this is a business and, Amazon, if their business isn't operating properly, you get cut. Like,
Yep.
stop. Do your job. Like, anyways, it was just bad. So about the draft. So how do you feel like we did in the draft? Did we do what you thought we were going to do in the draft?
Yeah, I think so because the main focus was, of course, the O line. Getting Fatanu, getting Zach Frazier was good, but also getting Peyton Wilson when he fell in the draft. 'Cause I thought he was gonna be like a late second rounder, maybe
Yeah.
third rounder, but since the injuries he had in college kind of plagued them and kind of dropped them, we were able to get him,
Mhm.
Roman Wilson. So I think we did a solid job in the draft, just addressing the needs. I know we can get like the glamour names, but these names right
Yeah,
here gonna become like some big names for us to help our like the patches we had on like defense and offense.
I agree. I also think we got Steeler fans as players, which sounds dumb, but like when there's something, you're a Steelers fan.
Hmm.
If you don't have the it, you're not really going to work because it's like it's different. But like if you
Yeah.
come in and you're like, I love this organization. Oh my God, this is my dream. I want you. Like, come on, like let's do this. Let's have some fun with
Yep.
this. So that's awesome. So, what do you think about Omar Khan?
I think Omar Khan, he's good. Because Kevin Colbert was good his long tenure he had, but I feel like the last few years he kind of got a little like lazy. He wasn't like making any moves. He kind of sabotaged us a little bit. He signed Mr. Trubisky and drafted Kenny and did all this stuff before Khan took over. It's still crazy how he could still draft even though Omar Khan was the GM. But Omar Khan has been very aggressive, going out there and like addressing the needs. Getting Broderick Jones, we traded for him, adding the pieces we have on like Trofantanu, Zach Frazier, going out there and just adding guys that we need, JPJ as well. So I
Agreed.
think he's been doing a good job, and he's trying to work on something else, I guess, now with Brandon Ayuk. We'll see what he gets done with that.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. So a couple of things with Khan. I feel like Khan. So another complaint I've had with the Steelers is sometimes I feel like we can't progress. We still do things like the old Steelers, like it's kind of the football has changed and we have to evolve. And I feel
Yeah,
like Khan is doing that. And I feel like even the fact that we're in talks or getting reports out that not only are we interested in Brandon Ayuk, that Brandon Ayuk is interested in becoming a Steeler because yes, as fans, we're like, of course you want to be a Steeler, but to
yep,
know that other people, and I think a lot of it's Mike Tomlin. I think who doesn't want to play for Tomlin? Like, I've never heard anybody say they didn't.
yeah, he's a great coach.
Yeah. So, like, what do you think about this whole Brandon Ayuk saga? I do want to say, as of this recording, we don't have Brandon Ayuk. So, if this releases and he's here, we didn't talk about him being here because he wasn't here as of this recording. So, I just want to make that crystal clear as to why you might not get us, all hyped about it. Because as of today, this recording, he's not here. Let me double check Twitter just to make sure. But I'm pretty
Like
sure I
breaking
would have gotten
news,
an alert on my
Ayuk had
phone.
just been
Yeah.
traded a minute ago.
Right. Like, what a thing. Let me just make sure because you know how this goes. It's like randomly. Okay, he still has not been traded, so we're good. So, what are your thoughts? How do you think Brandon Ayuk fits being a Steeler?
I feel like he fit in perfectly because you already have, of course, George Pickens. I seen a lot of like trade rumors that saying a trade George Pickens for him. I'm like, that would beat the purpose. You want to have both of them. I want to trade George
Yeah.
Pickens for. You want to keep both of those guys around. So most likely the Steelers are probably they did make a trade. They probably just be like with picks, and they don't want to give up too much because you still got to pay him like 25 million plus, maybe $30 million a year. So you want to make sure that you kind of like keeping some stuff a little bit, not giving up everything for him. But I think he's a nice player. A nice
Yeah.
player. A playmaker. He put the ball in his hands. He can make plays. He's can play in the outside, can play in the slot. A very good route runner as well. So yeah, he'd be nice to have to the team.
Yeah. What if you were GM? What would you give up?
Probably, I'll probably say a second and a third for this year, and then like the next draft, I'll probably do maybe like a six or something.
See, okay, I was thinking a second and a fourth this year or something
Hmm.
like that, and then like a third for next. So we're kind of aligned. We're kind
Yeah.
of aligned. But I will say this. I read this morning that somebody, I don't even know where I saw it at this point, but somebody was like, if we gave up a first rounder for this year, and let's just say the Steelers go to the AFC Championship game,
Hmm.
that first round pick would be like a number 26, 27.
Yep.
Does it really matter if our team, based on how we're built, who we have, what we do we really need a 26th pick in the draft?
Yeah, that's
And
true, really, because I feel like if you trade the first round, if it's just first round just straight up, nothing else extra, that'd be a perfect trade right there.
yeah.
And you already know the
So,
Steelers gonna always be like late in the draft anyway, so it's really
right.
not
And
as
so,
valuable.
yeah. So, like, when they said that, I thought, that's a really good point, actually. I feel like we hold on to first round picks as we're like, oh, we're not picking in the top 10. Let's just call it right
Yeah,
now. We're not
I
picking
like.
in the top
Then last time
10.
we did that was like 2000. I think Plaxico Burris was the last one. So,
So it's like, so that's not
it was
even an
a
option.
while ago.
Yeah. So it's like, if it's a 26th, 25th, 24th, send that pick to San Francisco. Give them
Yep.
a first and a
Last time it worked out well with Minka. It worked out perfectly
yeah.
when
So
you
that's
traded the
why I'm
first for
just
him.
kind of like, anyway. So I read that this morning and I thought that's a different perspective. And they're right, because then we will have served our purpose of,
Hmm.
winning a freaking champion, winning a freaking playoff game, because God help us at this point.
Oh, that was like what 7 years? I think I was like 14 when the Steelers won their last one. I think when they played the Chiefs. It's been a
It's
long time.
just, it's been a long time. And yeah, it's been a long time. And I feel like, though, that's the problem with the Steelers is like we've never been a terrible team.
Yeah,
We've had great seasons, but we've never been terrible. And so I always tell people I'm a privileged football fan because I get to experience, if he hasn't had a losing season. I don't even know what
yeah,
that feels like. I don't know any organization that can say that. So
Yeah,
it's like
every year
even
is
just that
competitive. It's
alone.
like you have a chance for the playoffs. Might not win the playoffs, but you have a chance
Yeah.
to get there every time. So it's always fun,
Yeah.
like to watch.
And so it's like most organizations, like their goal is to get to the playoffs. Our goal is to win a playoff game. We are not the same. So it's like, sometimes I have to put that in perspective, but it still doesn't mean that I don't think that we need to win a playoff game this season. So I'll get off that soapbox. So, what are your concerns heading into the season? Like seeing who we have, seeing what happened in the draft. We now have had the privilege of seeing a little bit of training camp. We've seen a little bit more. What are you feeling for this season?
My concerns really is mostly the health. It used to be in the old days the drama. We had a lot of drama. It was like an
Oh
episode
Jesus.
of like Love and Hip Hop or the Baddies or something. We had a lot of drama every single time. It was Antonio Brown or Le'Veon Bell, Martavis Bryant, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, all type of people. So now
Yeah.
this year is really only just like health concerns. Can they stay healthy? Because Cam Hayward was injured, 8 games last year. Nick Fitzpatrick was injured in and out last year. TJ Watt got injured at the wrong time. At the end of the season, we need him for that
Oh
playoff
my
game.
gosh.
So it's really just health concerns, really.
Yeah. I always tell people TJ Watt is this team's X factor.
Yeah,
And I think we're like 1 in 10
yeah, 1 in 10
when
without
TJ
Watt.
Watt doesn't
Yeah,
play. And I've always said the next biggest challenge is we've got to bridge the gap of what no one's going to be TJ Watt. It's not going to
yeah.
happen. But we have to find a way to bridge that gap some way, somehow. I don't care if it's by two people. I don't care what the
Hopefully
hell
it's
it is.
Herbig. Herbig, I think he got
Yeah,
potential. Hopefully it's him. Yeah.
maybe. And I see them working out with James Harrison. So
Hmm.
shout out to Harrison for coming back and being at training camp.
I feel like he can
I
still
don't think
play. He's in great shape.
he's
He can go
yeah,
back out there right now.
he's like immaculate. Like he's one of those people that like if somebody said like who would you want to talk to that was a former Steeler, he would be number one on my
Yeah.
list just because he doesn't really talk. And so I just want to like ask him things just to see like like what is your opinion on this? Like we don't really know what you think really, Harrison, now that I think about it. So it's just interesting to see him do that. And do you I just thought about this. Has Ben ever since Ben retired, has he been back?
I don't think so. He had players on his podcast. I think he had Kenny Pickett
Okay.
on there and Pat Fryermuth, but he hasn't been back. I don't think. Big Ben was never a
Hmm.
teacher. He didn't want to teach Mason Rudolph anything. He was a good quarterback, but he was a little selfish in some
Yeah,
aspects
yeah.
of his own career. Like that, he was a little of a diva. Sometimes he
He's
didn't
like
want to
Aaron
like nobody take his
Rodgers.
spot. Yeah, Aaron
He's like
Rodgers,
Aaron
Brett
Rodgers. Yeah.
Favre, Ryan Tannehill, what he did to Malik Willis. I'm not going to teach him anything. I'm like, you gotta like you
Yeah.
can at least prepare them for like just in case you go down. They're still on the same team.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What else do you feel like is happening in Steelers world that people aren't talking about?
Um, I'll probably say the potential of the O line. A lot of people are sleeping on the O
Mm.
line. They still feel like they're like young, but last year when Broderick Jones got put into the starting lineup, our rushing attack just shot up, and I
Yeah,
think we
all of a
finished 12th in
sudden.
rushing last year. It started like going crazy, like 200 rushing yards, and we had 100 rushing
Another
yards.
reason why I was pissed at
It
Matt
was good.
Canada. Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. So what's funny? I haven't heard a lot of people talk about our defense,
For the
which
defense,
yeah, which is fine. Like don't.
yeah,
Okay. Cool.
top five almost every year, really, because like
Yeah.
no matter who's
But
out
like
there, they still find a way to produce.
yeah, and this year they're like, oh, and their offense and their quarterbacks and they're this and they're that. And I'm like that's fine. Sure. Talk about like that's cool. So we have the unique ability because when I recorded all of my other ones, they didn't have the schedule out. We have the
Yep.
schedule out, and I hate it. But some people have talked me off of a ledge.
A tough
So I
schedule.
would love to hear your perspective on the schedule. What do you like about it, if you like anything? And what about it do you feel like makes it a tough schedule?
I like having tough schedules because you never want to like your team. You want your team to play the best. You always want to see like I built this team and put them against the best. In any aspect, anything. So like you always want to go against the champion. So we play the Chiefs on Christmas, which will be a good game. I still advocating for it too. I hope we can get like a Glorilla or Sierra or both to perform at the game. That'd be great. Like a Christmas game,
Mm,
Christmas special on Netflix. Have one of them perform or both of them perform. That'd be great. But I think having a tough schedule. The division always tough with the Ravens twice. You got the Browns. twice as well. You also have the Bengals. I think we play the Jets. Aaron Rodgers will be back this time. Got the Cowboys. So I love a tough schedule. So I always want to
Okay.
see our team go against the best. So we be prepared because in the playoffs, you're only playing the best. You're not going to be playing
Yeah,
guys under 500. So might as well get ready for it now.
that's true. Okay, that's true. What don't you like about the schedule?
Um, I probably say it the way it is because I think that like after the bye week, we play a lot of division games. It's like back to back to back. I think after we play like the Washington, and then we have like three straight division games, which is gonna be tough. Those be hard
Yeah.
hitting. So there might be some health injury concerns going on in those games.
Yeah. I always tell people it's the back to back to back within 10 days. And
Yeah.
then if you really expand it a little further, then I think that next game comes pretty fast. And again, football's hard, the NFL's hard. I'm not like no one's going to get like an easy go at it, but
Hmm.
within 10 days we're playing two AFC North teams. And I'm just like, really? Like our division is the reason why there's new rules and new this and you
Yes, the
can't do this and
headhunting
you can't do
days.
that. Yeah, but you guys are telling me you care about player safety? Okay.
They're trying to
Like,
add more games too. If they add another game, you got to add 2 bye weeks. It got to be two. It got to
yeah,
be.
I'm an advocate for that. I feel like I made a video on this, but it's like I think there should be like a first half of the season and then a second half of the season.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't be opposed to you guys to them like doing something in the middle and kind of giving them like a third week of chill or
Like the
something
NBA
because
do with the All Star break. You
yeah,
have your
yeah,
chance
like
to
why
rest.
just breathe, just no
Hmm.
practice, go back to the drawing board, stretch it out, walk, like all the basic shit. Spend time with your family, like just get a reset because at this point, but again, they don't care about any of this. They don't care about the players. They care
Yeah, they
about
don't want the
making money.
ratings,
I don't know.
and those TV
Yeah.
deal contracts.
I don't know how they would make money if they do that. So they're not going to do it. But it's just like it's just brutal. And I don't
Yeah,
think if you're not an AFC North football watcher, you don't understand how brutal it is. And it's not just Steelers Ravens. It's Browns Bengals, it's Browns Ravens, it's Ravens Browns. It's
yep.
all four teams are phenomenal. So screw those teams. But anyways, that's neither here or there. So and I have many friends that love those teams. But for today, for this recording, screw those teams, okay? I will say though, with the caveat, and I know Steelers Nation hates when I say this, but I am a Lamar Jackson fan, and I will not cheer against Lamar Jackson. Now, I don't want him to do well against
Yeah,
the
Lamar is
Steelers.
great. I love Lamar too, but don't play
Yeah,
good against us. Just play good against everybody
correct.
else.
I don't want him to play good against the Steelers, and I don't want him to beat the Steelers. Everyone else, cool. Do you, boo, but not against my team. And I will cheer for you. And I'm a fan, and I don't care who knows it. So,
Yeah,
like,
Lamar is great. Yeah, I
yeah,
like
I'll
Lamar
cheer for
because
Lamar.
because he always have the hate, so much hate against him. Like every time he can't do
That's it.
anything. He never get any love.
Yeah.
So I automatically love people like that who underdogs who always getting hate. So I'll cheer for Lamar when
Yeah,
he's playing other teams, but not the Steelers. So
Lamar too just seems cool.
yeah,
He seems cool. Like he's like, I don't know. I like him. I'm not sure whatever. I don't care. Against Steelers, no. But he's cool. Like, cool, whatever.
and they always call him the Allen
So
Iverson of football.
interesting. The thing I like about Lamar is he's the same guy. He
Hmm.
hasn't changed him. And he gets a lot of slack and some of it he deserves, which is fine. But him as an individual, just I love it. Like I love
Yep.
how he interacts with people on Twitter. I love how he is on game day. I love how I love the like sound bites we get of him. I have nothing bad to say about Lamar, so leave him alone, people, unless he's playing the Steelers. So, who on the schedule are you looking at and you're going, okay, like I'm excited that this team is on the schedule. I can't wait to see us like match up against that team.
Definitely the Chiefs. Because it's the back-to-back champions. Everybody want a shot at the champion, like to go against the
Yeah.
champion eventually. So to test your skills against the team that's been they done it different ways. They done it when they didn't have receivers. They done it with the defense. They won different ways. So to go against them in prime time on Christmas, that's gonna be a big time game like that. So hopefully we can get our revenge. I feel like the last few times we played them, they messed us up pretty bad. We got us in the playoffs. They got us on. I think that was Big Ben both times. I think both times with Big Ben. Yeah, the last game he
Yep.
had and then the one he had in the playoffs as well, and looked too good. So
Mhm.
hopefully this time we can get some revenge a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because yeah, We are okay in the regular season because our
Mhm.
defense is really good. But when you get to the playoffs, you have to have a good team.
Yeah.
And so we don't
The
have
QB got to
that.
make throws. Yeah, got to make some
Yeah.
big throws
Yeah. So the
eventually.
guy's wide open. You have to throw it to him. And it's just like poor Ben's arm, like he was throwing
Yeah, it was
ducks out
done.
there by that point. So it was
Like check downs and screen passes the whole entire time.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Is there anybody else that you are excited to see us play?
Definitely Cowboys because I have a lot of
That was my
friends who are
pick.
Cowboy fans. I'm here in
Yeah.
Dallas. I didn't get affected by the mad Cowboy disease though, so I didn't become a fan of the Cowboys. But I have a lot of Cowboy fans who are friends who are fans, and they already talking trash already. It's week 5, so I'm doing like a big live watch party on the channel, and we're gonna see who can get the bragging rights. The loser got to wear the other team's jersey and say some nice
Oh
things
god.
for on the video.
Oh gosh. Good luck. So I mean, yeah, you know what? Cowboys fans, like, it is what it is. Like, bless their hearts at this point. I mean,
Yeah,
just whatever. Like, what keep cheering for your team, guys. Like, kudos to you. The just I don't know what else to say to that.
yeah, but
We're
they
just
win
so
enough to get there, but it's the same formula every time. They're delusional. The Cowboy fans are delusional.
and I've just never seen that. I've never seen a fan base that's like and it's like year after year after year. I like mentor younger people, and some of them have never seen the Cowboys win anything, and they're like, "We're going to the Super Bowl." I'm like, like, what are you? I mean, come on.
The
And I
last
get
Super
it;
Bowl
they're
was like
younger, but
1995 or 4. I
I
think so.
mentor 2 people. One was born in 2001 and the other one was born in 2023.
Yeah, I was born
So
2001, so I haven't even seen the Cowboys win anything either.
so to be fair to like as we're like trash talking the Cowboys, to be fair to the Cowboys, they did used to be good. And they
Yeah,
are it's funny because they are good.
yeah,
It's just when it matters, they're not. And that's what's weird. It's like this weird thing where it's like they are good. I mean, they're winning 13 games,
they
12
win
games, 10
12,
games.
13
Like
every year.
that's good. But it's like you're just like, all right, let's see how they're gonna screw this up. And
Yeah, the
then
last
yeah,
year was just embarrassing. The Packers just going there with the young
I never
squad, everybody
I
under the
was
age of 25, just destroy you.
I was like, are y'all serious? And then Dak threw a pick 6. I was like, well, my team is not very good, but we're not that.
Yeah, we ain't that. It wasn't that bad. At least we have an excuse. We didn't have no all-pro quarterback.
Oh god, I've never laughed this hard about the Cowboys being terrible in my life. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. So what would be, and we're kind of off the rails here. Now I'm just asking you questions, but what do you expect to see from the Steelers this year? Like what in your when it's all said and done, and when we all, look back and we're like, you know what? Okay, that was a decent season. What would that look like for you?
It got to at least be better than last year because last year we had 3 different quarterbacks and still managed to win 10 games. So it got to at least be, I say at least 11-6, 12-5, and just
Okay.
like be consistent on offense because the defense is gonna perform. The defense has been performing the past few years. Last year we had
Yeah.
our defense got banged up, but we still only allowed 19 points per game. We're still top 5 in
Right.
turnovers as well with all those different players. It's just the offense. They only scored 16 points per game last year, which is horrible. It got a little inflated because Mason Rudolph balled out the last 3 games, but besides that. It's really just 14 points per game. We couldn't get any first downs in the first half. We couldn't move the ball. Boswell was our best player on offense. He can
By
50-yard field
far.
goals, 56-yard field goals. So
By
hopefully
far.
this
It
season we
wasn't even close.
see at least get 23 a game. 23 a game is not that bad. 23 a game at least.
What do you know what the NFL average is by chance? Of points per
Let
game?
me guess. I'm gonna guess and say it got at least be 25 around that
I mean,
range.
I don't know what it is. I just know that I just know I was the person that once a team got to 20, I was like, there's no way we're gonna win this one.
Yeah, we're not built for comebacks. It was only built to keep it
I was
close
like,
and
I
miracle
was
win
like,
at the end.
I was like, damn, they kicked a field goal, they got to 20 points. We don't stand a chance.
We was hoping
Don't
for a
play
TJ
about it.
Watt strip sack, pick six. We were hoping for that. Sometimes the defense scored more than the offense. I remember that Browns game.
Oh
Alex
gosh.
Highsmith had a pick six. Watt had a fumble recovery, and the offense only scored one touchdown. I'm like, come on, man,
It was
really?
so bad, and I don't think people know how bad it was. And that's why I tell people, like, people are like, y'all got Russell Wilson, ha ha ha, he's terrible. I'm like, no, you don't understand how bad we were because we
Yes.
won games because that's what we do is just win. But so I'm gonna ask you. So I kind of want to do like a question, whatever, on like some hot Steelers topics. And I did not
Mhm.
prepare you for this. So if you don't want to answer any of these, just say pass. Do you prefer Wilson or Justin Fields?
I'll probably say for now, Russell Wilson. Justin Fields been
Okay.
shining in off season, but Russell Wilson, 10-time Pro Bowler, he's the veteran. He knows what it takes to win on a championship team. Been in 2 Super Bowls,
Okay.
won a Super Bowl, future Hall of Famer. So having him now for a team that's kind of equipped to try to go out there and try to win something is good. But you also can still plan for Justin Fields to maybe ease himself in, maybe next year or maybe this year. Russell Wilson like stink it up. You never know.
True. You never know. Do you think we should pay Cameron Hayward?
Um, see, I like Cameron Hayward as from a fan perspective, but and like from a business perspective, probably not because the injuries and him being like 35, 36, a little older, and in football terms, not in life, 35 is that old, but in football terms,
I
a little
agree.
older. But I think Cam Hayward is he's a good player, good leader, but I think it's time. Like if he like either retire
Mm,
with us, maybe like a short term deal. We could do like a deal where like maybe it's a 2 year type deal, but nothing like crazy, no crazy
that's what
money
I
like
think.
that.
Yeah, like pay him out of respect for him,
Yeah.
but remember that it's a business and he can take it or leave it.
Yep.
Warren or Harris for
Oh,
running
definitely
back?
Harris. I have Najee Harris
Okay.
jerseys. Definitely, I love Najee Harris. His personality and his play style too, as well. Of course, Jalen Warren is a little more explosive than him. I think Najee did lose some weight as well, so he should be a little faster this year.
Yeah.
But he never really got the opportunity because I feel like the first year he came in, they utilized him too much. It was like Big Ben was throwing all those checkdowns to him. He had like 70 catches, and he also had like 1,200 rushing yards. He was utilized a lot, and then the O
Yeah.
line was just real bad. So he was kind of like making nothing out of something, making something out of nothing, really. So now
Yeah.
him getting a good old line, a good offensive coordinator, we're gonna see like Najee actually go out there and try to ball out. I'm hoping to see like at least 1,400 plus rushing yards at
I love
least.
that. I think Najee is he was last year. I don't think I think he's our silent vocal leader, if that makes sense. He doesn't
Hmm.
really say much, but when he does say stuff, people are paying attention. But otherwise, he just kind of goes out there and works hard and does his thing.
Yep.
And I appreciate that about him. So, this 2024 Steelers team, do you think this is totally a guess, obviously? Do you think our offense is going to be better, or do you think our defense is going to be better?
Definitely defense. Look at the highest paid defense. You spend all that money on defense, the defense got to be better. So especially adding
Okay.
Patrick Queen and Deshaun Elliott, the safety we added too as well, Peyton Wilson, and all the different people we added. So I think the defense definitely going to be better. But I hope the offense to be better than the last year's offense, hopefully, because that's 16 points per game. I can't do that 16 points anymore.
Just think about what we're saying here. An NFL team scored 16 points and still averaged 16 points and went to the playoffs. Like
Yes,
it's crazy
we
what
scored less
people
than what we allowed, and we still made the playoffs, which is
like
ridiculous.
Mike Tomlin. I get it. Some people are like, and listen, he pisses me off sometimes too. And listen, I was pissed off when we lost to the Patriots too. And I was pissed off when we lost to the Cardinals as well. Like
Oh yeah,
me
that
too.
those three
I
games
was
was
pissed too.
that Colts game got
Like
me. I was like, yeah.
the Browns game pissed me off because I'm
McKinney
like,
only had like
backup
70,
quarterback.
70 passing yards that game. Like 70 passing
Yeah.
yards. You played 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
come
I
on.
get it, but it's like leave him alone. Leave Mike Tomlin alone. Let Tomlin. Leave him alone.
I'm surprised Tomlin
And
is still coaching after he had to deal with Antonio Brown, all the stuff he did with that, and like getting basically because Big Ben really was kind of done. Like I feel like around like 2017, he was kind of done a little bit, but he kept lingering
uh
on, lingering on. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm like, nah, man, like, hang it up.
we held on to him way too long. And if
Yeah,
you're going to hold on to him, you have to pull a Green Bay and you have
yeah,
to
they did
draft
perfect
his
with
backup.
Britt, Rogers, and now Jordan Love. Perfect.
You have to, but yeah, you have to. So, and then this will be my last question because I this is kind of a weird question, but I feel like people are split on this. Do you think Pickens is a wide receiver one, or do you think if we were to get like Ayuk or like a Metcalf somehow has come up in this whole conversation? Do you think who do
He was
you
throwing a
think
helmet
would be
yesterday. I think
like
he threw a helmet at
someone?
somebody in the fight. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
I'm like, so he throws a helmet and we're like Steelers. Like,
Well,
like we're
Mason not here no
listen.
more, so he not no, he got
Well,
nobody traumatized anymore.
well, I was gonna say one thing about the Steelers though. I always tell people this, and it's a kind of a laughing joke, but I mean this shit. We're gonna fight.
Oh
We
yeah, yeah,
will fight.
yeah.
Like we're cool. Like we're here to play football. We're not gonna be dirty. It's fine. But if you want to take it there, we will. I mean, we will. Like I never worry about my team going to pick up a quarterback. I never worry about my team if extra shoving takes place. I know we're going to go shove
Yep.
back. I always know if somebody throws a punch, we're also going to
We've
throw a
been, we've been
punch.
fighting each other in training camp the
We
past few times.
one thing about my team, listen, we're gonna fight. So I don't care. And that's who we are. Like, take it or leave it. We're going to fight you because we will fight the Ravens, we will fight the Bengals, and we'll fight the Browns. And if we will
Yeah.
fight those guys, we will fight your team any day of the week, twice on Sunday and on Monday if we need to meet up again to settle something. So that's my team. So that's how we're going out. Uh, but so, anyways, what do you think about Pickens? What are your real thoughts about George Pickens?
George Pickens is a good player. He just got to learn how to, of course, stay focused. Because like what Coach Saban said when he was on the draft thing, I think he mentioned you can play with emotion, but don't play emotional. You play with emotion, you can play with passion, you play with heart,
Yeah.
you can uplift your team. But you play emotional, those penalties start coming in. You start getting into fights on the field, would cause penalties and doing unnecessary things that hurt your team.
Yeah.
So Pickens last year, I feel like early on he was doing that, but then he started kind of getting better as the season went on. Started like
Yeah.
being more of a like civilized person on the sideline. You know, the ball didn't come your way, but just wait. You know, just be patient. You know, we got Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph throwing, but just be patient like that. But this year, hopefully, he can be better. And if Brandon Ayuk did come around, I think he'd be like kind of like 1A, 1B. But my only concern about that would be kind of what the Bengals are in right now. You got to pay Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. You can't keep both because if you pay Brandon Ayuk the money, George Pickens' contract will be coming up next season. Are you going to pay him that big money as well? So it's like,
Is
you got to
it
kind of
next
like
season or is
figure
it
it
the
out.
season after it?
I think this is his third year, so he'll have a 5th year option because he was a second round pick. So next year would be his last year. So you got to like kind of like figure that out. Like you're gonna extend him maybe now on a cheaper deal, or if he have a big year this year, then you're gonna be even more money. So that'd be
Yeah.
my only concern, like for the future.
Yeah, I could see that. And I don't know. And that's another like that's goes back to the Cam Hayward thing is, and I always tell people it's not about the singular player
Hmm.
because like I get it, he's Cam Hayward. This is not a knock on him at all. But when you're looking at a team, it's like and that's probably going to be the question to the fan base. Do you pay Pickens what we hope he deserves at that time, or do you pay Cameron Hayward more money? And to me,
Yeah.
the answer is obvious, but what the hell do I know? So, is there anything else that you want to talk about, or is there anything else that you want to say that you feel like we didn't talk about, or anything really that you just want to mention that you thought, I want to make sure I mention this whenever I sent you the email?
Bold prediction: the Steelers
Ooh,
finish first in the division at 12-5 and go undefeated in the division. That's my bold prediction. Last year we went 5-1 in the division with many different quarterbacks. I think this year 6-0 in the division, 12-5. It might sound a little crazy, but
that's bold.
I think it's gonna happen.
That's bold. I mean, what were we last year? Like weren't we like 5-1 in the
Yeah,
division
five and
last
one.
year?
Yep. The only loss came that Browns game. With they was playing horrible. We lost to DTR.
Against a freaking backup quarterback.
He's the
I mean,
he's a fourth string quarterback too. Like man,
the whole play calling on the last possession, I think I could tell you what it was because it was I knew what it was going to be, and
run
it was
pass.
that.
Probably the same thing.
And it was like, oh God. Okay. You know what? No, new year, new season. Like, I'm telling you, listen, I don't even study film. I pride myself on being a fan that I love football. And I look at
Hmm.
all the other stuff, right? Like body language. Do I know the play call? Do I know what's going
Yeah.
on? Can
If the
I,
fans at
just
home
like
know the play call, the other team definitely know the play call.
exactly. So that's the kind of fan I am. And I'm saying that to say, I can't tell you what the play was called, but I can tell you the play because damn it, I knew it was coming. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't tell me we're gonna run it to the right. We
So
run it.
yep, jet
We're doing
sweep,
it.
all
We're doing
run, the same run over and over, the same receiver handoff every time. Like, come on, man.
the jet sweep.
The jet sweep is
No.
annoying.
I
That's how
don't
Roman
want
Wilson
to
got
say
injured too in practice. They stop doing the jet sweep. Just get rid of the jet
I
sweep
saw that. Get
completely.
rid of why do we do that? God. Anyways, I feel like we need to do a jet sweep like randomly in a random game on a
Could be a
random
surprise
night on a
play, yeah, like
random
get them off guard. Yeah.
like if we're going in at half and we're just like, you know what, let's just try jet sweep here. Let's see if we can get it. Like anyways, now I obviously it's like certain things about Steelers piss me off. I'm like, oh God, it's pissing me off. And then we win a game and I'm like, anyways,
It
but
was like a lot of miracles last year. A lot of miracles.
there's been a lot of miracles the past 5 seasons, I felt like.
Yeah. Like the Bengals game, I
Really,
think that was 2 years ago, or we went to overtime with them. That was a miracle game because we had
it is
6
a miracle.
turnovers and still found a way. They missed the field. He blocked the field goal. They wanted us to win that. The football guys wanted us to win. We had to win some of those games. It was like some crazy, wacky things happening. Like, oh, they want us to win this one. There's no way we should win
Yeah.
these games.
And that's, that's, yeah, I don't know. That, what is that saying? I'd rather us be lucky than good.
Yep.
Sometimes we're just lucky. So
It was really lucky.
so anyways, well, I don't have anything else to ask you. I just want to thank you for coming on my channel. If you're listening to this episode, make sure to go to his channel, subscribe to his channel, watch all of his content, do all the things, and the Steelers Syndicate. Like, that's exciting. So I'm super excited for you to, and I clicked over there just to kind of see like what was going on. So I'm super excited. I feel like things like that, like when you get somebody that's like passionate about the team, it makes it better because it's like you love it and
They actually
you'll be honest.
care about the team.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and you'll be honest. I think sometimes, I don't know about you, but as a content creator, it's like everybody wants to be hardline yes or hardline no. I want to be in the middle. If it's good,
Yeah.
I want to call it good. If it's bad, I want to say that was terrible. If it's average, I want to be like, it was all right. I mean, whatever. And it's like we don't have that enough, like just be honest, be
Yeah, there's a
truthful.
lot of
Even if
bias in this. Like you can be biased, but like I always say, like as a fan, I want us to win, but looking from it, we can't beat this team. I'm like, we're not gonna win this team. Against this team. I hope we win, but we're not gonna win this game.
yeah, that's me. That's me. And I'm a Colorado Buffaloes fan. Do you watch college football at all?
Oh yeah, college football. The Buffs, I
So
like the Buffs story. A very good story.
me too, but I'm also honest. It
Yeah,
is what it is.
it's
Like,
the O
and it
line
doesn't
gotta
mean I
get
want them
fixed.
to
The O
lose.
line needs to
Yeah,
be good.
it doesn't mean I want them to lose. It just means, listen, like, sometimes it doesn't look good, and right now I don't trust it. Prove it to me, like, prove it. And then
Yep.
and then I'm a Texas Longhorn fan, and they've proved it. So now I have expectations. So prove to me my expectations are right. And if you don't, I will be in your ass, just like I'll be in the Steelers, and just like I'll be in Colorado. That's how I'm gonna play it. If you don't like it, I don't care. So like, that's just how I roll. So, anyways, I'm rambling, but I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. Is there anything else you want to say before I end this? I'll give the floor to you, and then I'll end it after you're done with whatever you want to tell us.
Well, thank you for having me. I come on again anytime. I love doing like the sports podcast stuff. I always do a lot with Mark on Still Nation Australia all the time. So I love doing the sports podcast. It'd be anything talking about football and random things as well. So yeah. So if you want to see some of that, also DB channel, Steelers Syndicate, subscribe and get all the Steelers content and all NFL and basketball content, anything you want. We got all of it.
Love it. Love it. And I will put all that in the description notes. And yes, special shout out to Mark. He is one of a kind. And I just met him probably a month ago. He's a phenomenal human. And you don't often find phenomenal humans on YouTube. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate him for being one of those amazing people. So kudos to you, Mark. All right. Well, thank you. And yes, we'll have to do this again. Trust me, I always can find a reason to collaborate and talk to somebody about the Steelers. Even if we're just commiserating, I will make sure that we do that on an episode together.